Guys, did I just find the perfect replacement for all these mobile controllers? Check out this video. And we're back, DLG fam, with another review for you guys. Welcome to everyone, welcome to all the new viewers. Bienvenidos a todos al canal de LG y gracias por venir a nuestro canal. So guys, I know I've spent a few bucks or a few $100 on various different mobile controllers. Yeah, I know, but trying to find the perfect one and giving you guys my input on them is my mission. So I have for you guys today the replacement, at least in my opinion, it's replacing all of them. I'll tell you why. And what am I talking about? The Gamevice Flex.
Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back.
This controller right here can do everything the other ones can, but just like the song says, everything you can do, I can do better. That's right. You want to know why? Well, I'm going to touch base onto the reasons as to why I feel that way about the Gamevice Flex. So what's so great about this controller, you might be asking yourself? Well, guess what, guys? This controller can be used with your phone while your phone still has the case. Obviously, it's going to be certain cases only. Like, for example, the Apple silicone cases. Let's touch base on point number one. It can be used while your phone still has a case on it. Yes, you heard me right. There's no need for you to risk dropping your phone without a case, which, yeah, that's not gonna be a pretty picture or a pretty cheap picture to repair when you actually accidentally drop it. So this phone can be used with the case or without the case. The phone itself does come with adapters and a plaque that allows you to select the correct adapters depending on the type of case that's on your phone. There's two methods. You want to be a road warrior and use your phone without a case? Hey, it does come with rubber cases. I will show you guys what am I talking about. So one thing that caught my attention about this particular device, if you look at it closely, what device does this remind you guys of? Yep, the tEcK. Look at that. It has an identical design, although it's slightly bigger. I will show you in an overhead shot. What am I talking about? All right, guys, here it is, the Gamevice Flex. It does have similarities to the actual tEcK version 1, as you guys can see here, but what makes this control a lot better, even though it has similarities to the tEcK version 1, which includes the actual ribbon style loading mechanism, as you guys can see here, you can use this controller while your phone has a case installed on it. Let me show you guys what am I talking about. As you guys can see here, you have different adapters, 16 different adapters to be exact, which you have two different ways of figuring out which one fits your phone correctly. Option number one would actually be with this QR code. You scan it, it will send you to a website where you input the type of phone that you have, and it will tell you which adapter you will use on the left side or the right side of the controller itself. Option two, you use this key card here, you insert the phone with the case into each slot until you find the correct one that fits with your case. Once you find the actual adapter like I did here, which fits perfectly well with my iPhone 13 Pro Max, is the L25 for the left side. You go ahead and you align it on the small slots that are located on the actual controller. As you guys can see right there, you put that on the bottom of it, you align the other one, and you gently slide it in. You'll hear a clicking sound, and now you got your left adapter ready to go. You do the same for the other side. So for me, it was an actual R15A for the iPhone 13 Pro Max. So let's talk about the pros on this actual controller. The buttons feel great. The buttons themselves are not as clicky as the ones on the backbone or the tEcK, but they do feel great. It doesn't take any extra amount of pressure to actually activate the buttons when you're pressing them. It does have other functionalities. You see here, it has a home, a screenshot, a menu, options, and a button that launches the dedicated app for the Gamevice controller. Let me tell you why this controller itself is the game winner. The one that really knocks every other controller out of the park. You guessed it, guys. Thumbsticks. It's the actual thumbsticks. Why? Because you get controller size thumbsticks. The pressure on the actual thumbsticks is the same, at least for me, as if I'm actually playing on one of my Xbox controllers. Yes, the layout on the controller is designated just like an Xbox controller, but as far as the thumbsticks go, they actually feel just like if you're actually holding an Xbox controller, which for me is actually a huge plus because I went through the backbone, the tEcK, the tEcK version 2, and to be honest, guys, I never really liked the actual thumbsticks on any of those. I was super hyped and super pumped up to try them out, but then when I tried them out, that was a big L for me, you know, as far as those controllers go. But this one right here, Guys, this is the breadwinner right here, the actual thumbsticks. And what is it that you want from an actual mobile controller? You want to be able to play it and feel as if you're holding an actual Xbox controller in this case. And the thumbsticks themselves, they actually replicate the controller. So another thing I like about this controller is, check it out guys, it's ergonomical. I mean, it doesn't have the curvature that an actual Xbox controller has, but you know what guys? This controller sits so well inside my hands and it doesn't feel clunky, it doesn't feel out of place, it doesn't feel like you're holding a brick like with the Nintendo Switch and the backbone. This one feels like you're naturally holding an Xbox controller. That is a huge plus for me, because after an hour or so of gaming with the other controllers, I would get tired from my hands from holding it. With this one, that's not the case. As for the top buttons, they feel like if you're pressing on the actual Xbox controller buttons. That is great. You don't get no extra buttons like you do with the actual cALi, which I don't know why would you even want extra buttons on the top. All you really need is your bumpers and your triggers, and that's it. Now, as far as the layout goes, it is an actual Xbox layout, but I do wish that the actual offset on the buttons would replicate the actual controller. As you guys can see right here, it's more of a diagonal layout, where on the actual Gamevice controller, you have somewhat of a diagonal layout. It's almost vertical, but not quite. It does not impede me being able to switch up and down from the actual buttons to the thumbstick. On the backbone, the actual buttons are literally right on top of the thumbstick. For me, that's a little bit uncomfortable the way it's laid out. On the cALi, they're slightly a little bit more towards the middle, almost aligned to the actual thumbstick. And for the cALi 2, they went just like with the backbone with the actual complete vertical alignment. All right guys, so as far as the size comparison, you can see that as far as the width goes, it almost expands as far as the actual Nintendo Switch, so you won't feel awkward when you're using it if you do use a Nintendo Switch as well. Another great thing about this controller is the actual size. It's compact and you could actually just toss it in your backpack or in your pocket and you're able to go. Not compared to the actual backbone, where as you can see, this will not be able to withstand putting it in your pocket, because you could potentially snap this controller in half, as well as the cALi version 2. There you go, similar design as the actual backbone. This is the game winner for me. Compact size, Xbox controller style thumbsticks, ergonomical design that makes it sit well while you're holding it and gaming for a prolonged period of time. All right guys, so the controller has a 3.5mm jack for your headphones and a pass-through lightning port. This port is only and strictly just for charging. This will not pass any data or any type of audio through it. So that means that the actual Apple earphones that have the lightning end on it, this will not push any type of audio. So the way you use the actual card, you go ahead and you insert the phone on each notch until you find the corresponding notch that actually fits well with your actual case. This case right here is a slim Taurus case that actually works well with the controller itself. It also works good with the Apple silicone cases. The cases that it does not work with is those multi-piece cases. I do not have one of those because it makes the phone very bulky. So to show you guys that it actually works with the case, I already have the actual adapters installed. As you guys can see here, here's one and here is the other one. So the way you insert the phone on the actual controller, you put it on the lightning adapter side first, insert it there, pull on the other end, go ahead, snap it in place, and bam, look at that guys, there it is. It fits nice and snug. So once it's plugged in, as you guys can see there, this button will glow. This button will actually launch the Gamevice app. As you guys can see right here, there's many different games that you could actually run on the Gamevice. Here are the actual apps that it's compatible with: Xbox, GeForce Now, Apple Arcade, and the App Store. So the one con I actually have about this controller has nothing to do with the actual way that the controller functions. It has to do with the app. So the way the actual app works is, you go, let's say, to the App Store and you want to play Call of Duty, right? As you guys can see here, it says install. I already installed the actual app on my phone, but you will notice something weird. Here you go, you press on it, you get this pop-up. This is the only way you're actually able to run the game. I don't like that method, but as far as the controller goes, it's amazing. Get rid of the actual app and this will be a game winner. All right, so now I'm gonna show you some gameplay with the actual controller so you guys can see how well it performs. As you guys can see, you're able to get the precise hit almost every single time. There it is, guys. I died probably one time out of the entire game. You guys can see how precise this actual controller makes your gaming. So guys, what do you guys think about the actual controller? I think this is a great deal, despite the fact that it is $10 more expensive than the backbone and the Kishi. But you know what? It's well worth it. Why, you may be asking? Well, you do get those adapters that allow you to continue to use your phone with the case. Obviously, you're limited to what type of cases. You cannot use those multi-piece cases that make the phone a lot more thicker, a lot more heavier, a lot more clunkier. You can use it with the Apple silicone cases. You can use it with the case that I have. And not only that, guys, if you don't want to use it with a case, you have the option of actually using the rubber inserts to use your phone without the case. Let me know down in the comments below if you actually own a Gamevice Flex, and give me your input of what do you think about the controller. The only thing I disliked about this actual controller, it has nothing to do with the physical controller itself. It actually has to do with the app, the one that you launch with this particular blue button, the Gamevice Live. The app needs a lot of work. You need to go through multiple steps just to actually launch the actual game, but don't let the app deter you from actually trying the controller out. I don't regret trying it out. I already gave you my input as to why I really enjoy this controller. I was always looking for mobile controllers that gave me the same feel the Xbox controller does. In what area? The thumbsticks. Because I feel that the other devices lack in that area. They feel just like if you're using the actual Nintendo Switch, and to me, that's a no-go because it's supposed to replicate in some type of way the actual controller from the console. I feel that the thumbsticks were always lacking, but on this puppy right here, guys, that right there, that's the money maker right there, the thumbsticks. But if you're a dad, a gaming dad, looking for a new mobile controller that will not have Nintendo Switch style thumbsticks, don't forget to check out my latest video. But till next time, guys, I'm tEcK. Peace out. Ah, it happened again. All right, yes, it's a dad life gaming video.